Hitting 100K in real estate is not about doing more. It is, however, about doing the right things. But even when you know what those right things are, nearly 70% of real estate agents will never reach 100K, according to NAR. And it is not your fault. The truth is, you probably were not taught how to build a business or what might get in the way of building that business. Now, in today's episode, I'm going to share with you 3 roadblocks that keep agents stuck and a pro tip for each one so you can move forward with focus and start building that real momentum towards making 100K. Are you tired of feeling like you're doing all the things as a real estate agent but still not seeing consistent results? Well, that ends right now. Welcome to the Profitable Real Estate Agent, the show for agents who are ready to stop winging it and start building a profitable and sustainable business. This season, we're going to cut through the noise and focus on exactly what it takes to make 100K as a real estate agent, without the guesswork, without the overwhelm, and without wasting time on things that don't move the needle in your business. I'm pulling back the curtain on the exact framework that took me from my first 100K to 500K to building a 7-figure business. So if you haven't hit 100K yet or you struggle with inconsistency, don't worry, I've got you covered. It's time to take action. Let's get to work. Now, in the intro, I shared a statistic, and to me, this is exactly why I'm focused on helping agents just like you. Because nearly 70% of real estate agents aren't making 100K. Now, I don't say this to scare you, but I do say it to shine a light on what's actually going on behind the scenes. Because if you're not yet at 100K, it is not, let me say that again, it is not a reflection of your potential, your work ethic. You are not lazy or unmotivated. You've just never been taught how to build a sustainable and profitable business with systems, structure, and a strategy that actually works. And I do believe that there are a few roadblocks why this happens. So today I want to walk you through 3 of them, and most importantly, action steps for each to help you move through and start building that real momentum that you desire to get to 100K. Number 1, our mindsets, particularly when it comes to doubt and fear. Now, we are going to talk a lot about mindset on this podcast because in actuality, it really affects everything, whether you know it or not. But here's what I want you to understand, especially if no one's explained it in this way. Let's quickly define what mindset is. Mindset is how you see yourself, your business, and what you believe is possible. It's your internal dialogue, and this internal dialogue can be negative or positive. But these thoughts and beliefs are what drive your actions and ultimately your results or lack of results. And this is, again, whether you realize it or not. Now, for years, let me correct that, for decades, I did not realize how much my own beliefs or lack of beliefs about money, success, whether I was good enough, was holding me back in so many ways that I couldn't even see it was there. Now, these are those quiet thoughts that creep in, especially when things feel slow or uncertain, or you're working so hard and nothing is working. So here are some phrases that you might find yourself thinking. Maybe you're saying to yourself, I'm not ready for this. Or maybe it's, I'll never be successful. Or perhaps it's, Vanessa, I've been showing up for 90 days, 120 days, 6 months, and I don't have one under contract yet. It is not working. And then what happens is this fear and doubt starts to kick in. And when it does, you start playing small. You start second guessing every decision or start to avoid the very things that you know move your business forward. But here's the truth. You are not behind. You are just at a different stage. You are in the building your business stage. And the only way to get unstuck is to take that next step, even when it feels uncomfortable. So here's your quick tip. If you find yourself spiraling, if you are saying to yourself right now in this moment, those phrases or some variation of it, I want you to pause and ask yourself, what would the version of me who has already made 100K do today? And this one question will shift your perspective so you can start taking action. Now, number 2, you have no plan. You're winging it, and winging it as a business owner never works. Here's how I want you to think of this. Think of a Starbucks. I'm sure whether you drink coffee or not, I'm sure you've been around or in a Starbucks, right? What has created their success? Consistency, branding, systems, service. Do you think Starbucks got to the point in which they are by winging it every day? Or do they follow a plan, a written plan, actually, right? They follow a written plan. So why should you think of your real estate business as anything different? You cannot grow a consistent, sustainable, profitable real estate business by waking up every day and just seeing what happens in quotations. But that's exactly what so many real estate agents do. And then they wonder why they're not seeing results. And when you don't have a plan, you end up reacting to your day instead of you leading your day and being proactive. So I want you to try something for a week. If it doesn't work, move on to something else. But here's the shift I want you to make. You don't need more strategies or 100 ideas. What you do need is a simple written plan that you can follow, one that focuses on the few things that move the needle. These are your fundamentals, your 5 fundamentals: lead gen, following up, going on appointments, executing agreements, and practicing what you're going to say. And here's what I want you to understand about these fundamentals, and this is what I teach in my program. These will always, underscore, exclamation, bold, bold, always move the needle, whether you're at 100K or 10 million or 100 million. These are those dollar producing activities that must be blocked. If you are an active producing agent, obviously as you grow and scale, we'll talk about teams when I launch my other program, which is in the works. It's more about team building, going from solo agent to a team, things like that. That will come soon. But no matter where you're at, when you scale your business, if you are an active producing agent, whether you're a solo agent or have a team, these fundamentals never, ever change. And these need to be blocked in your calendar every single day. And I want you to block this even if you have an appointment or not, because you're going to get appointments. And when you do, you want to make sure your time is blocked accordingly. Hey, a real quick pause before we go deeper. If you're listening right now and thinking, I want a clear plan to finally reach 100K, then check out my signature program. It's my step-by-step framework for real estate agents who are ready to stop winging it and start building real results. Inside, you're going to learn the exact fundamentals to build the foundation to hitting 100K. We're going to cover everything from mastering your buyer and seller consultations to building your database and delivering a 5-star client experience and everything in between. You're going to get access to my scripts, templates, and checklists. Plus, we're going to have coaching, accountability, and support so you never feel alone. Click on the link in the show notes now to join the roadmap to 100K. All right, let's take you back to the episode. All right, roadblock number 3 is being inconsistent. Even with a written plan, it shocks me still that so many real estate agents don't stick with it. So let me ask you, are you lead generating one day and then deciding to skip the rest of the week? What about your follow-up? What does that look like? Or even as something as simple as having a consistent wake up time and knowing when your workday starts. So let me give you an example. I remember working with an agent who wanted to hit 100K. She had a plan, the ideas, the drive, but her schedule looked different every single day. Some days she was in work mode by 8 a.m. Other days she didn't start work until noon. And lead gen was whenever she had time. And guess what happened? Her results? All over the place. Consistency isn't about business tasks. It's about how you structure your day, how you start your morning. What does your nighttime routine look like? Because you heard that expression, your day starts the night before. This is 100% true. So if you're not prepping for the day ahead of time, blocking your time, setting intentions, you're already behind. So here's the shift you need. And I don't want you to think that you have to have the perfect schedule to start, okay? Trust me, when I go back and I look at everything that I've done, I didn't have a really clear and identified schedule till much, much later in my career. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to be consistent. So I want you to when you go to bed tonight, check your schedule. What time am I going to bed? Do I have a set wake up time? Make sure those fundamentals, those 5 fundamentals are blocked on your schedule so you can show up each day with intention and structure. Start with those small wins, because as you build those small wins, you're going to see that massive momentum starting to get to 100K. And before you know it, that momentum starts to snowball, right? You're showing up. This leads to more opportunities, more confidence, and eventually to the closing table. Now, I did want to give you one bonus roadblock, and I see this one a lot. I call it the secret agent problem. Dun, dun, dun. No. Simply put, this is when people in your world, your friends, your family, past coworkers, don't even know you're a real estate agent. Is that you? Are you a secret agent? And look, I get it, right? When it comes to putting yourself out there and talking to people and asking for business, you start to feel vulnerable and uncomfortable. And actually, we covered some of this on the last episode. You start second guessing everything. What do I say? What if it feels pushy? What if they say no? But here's the truth. You're never going to grow your real estate business if no one in your world even knows you're a real estate agent. So ask yourself, if someone in my network needed a real estate agent today, would they think of me? If the answer is no, go back and listen to episode 8, but this is where your focus needs to go. So here's your pro tip. I want you to audit your last 7 days. How many conversations, real estate related conversations, did you actually have? How many people know you are open for business and ready to help? If that number is low, this is where your energy needs to go, because keeping your identity a secret will never get you to 100K. So I want to ask you, which one of these hit home for you? Wherever you are right now, please know you are not alone. Every new agent, every agent getting to 100K started exactly where you are right now. These roadblocks are common, but I do not want you to see them as permanent. So here's what I want you to do today. I want you to pick one of these tips from today's episode and go take action on it. Not all of them, just one, because we've already said these small wins, this intentional step forward done consistently will yield you the results that you desired. I promise you've got this. Keep it up. Success as a real estate agent comes down to a decision to show up, take action, and stay committed. So don't just listen. Apply what you learned today and put it into motion. If you need help getting started, I want you to grab my free 60 lead gen strategy guide so you can start finding the right lead gen strategies that'll work for you. And if you're a motivated, ambitious agent who's ready to hit 6 figures, join my Roadmap to 100K program. You'll find both links in the show notes. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with a fellow agent and leave me a 5-star rating and review, as it helps more agents just like you find the show. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next time.